Okay, so your teacher has set up this really cool lab, and your job is to pick two color bottles and the data that goes with it and make a line graph. And she has an example of what a line graph would look like if it was all of the bottles, but you're just going to pick two. So you are going to make this graph on Google Sheets, and it's actually incredibly easy, but you do have to get the data on the sheets. So I'm going to go over to the ClassLink Google Drive and pick a sheet and copy and paste the data over. So here I'm opening a blank one. Okay, so the first thing I want to get on the spreadsheet is this top row, because it is going to provide the labels on my graph. So I highlight it and I do a right click and I pick copy. Then I go into this row 1 and I do a right click, paste. Okay, and a lot of times this will happen for reasons I don't understand, where you get, it doesn't go where you want. So if I need to get rid of that blank line, which I recommend, I go to right click and delete row. Remember, rows are horizontal, columns are vertical, like columns in a building. Okay, so now I have to go back to my data, and you can pick any two. I made up some fake data, so don't use purple and beige because that's fake, so that I wouldn't be reproducing anybody else's work. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to see if it obeys me and if it puts the data where I want. See, once again, it made a blank row. Well, so we have the trick here. We do a right click on that blank row and I delete it. Okay, we are now set up to create a graph. When you make the graph, you have to highlight just the cells that you want. Like if you do this, it'll mess up your graph. So get just those and nothing else. And then go to insert and pick chart. And you can see it looks like a graph. They call it a chart. And then you wait a few seconds and voila. So this graph is pretty much done. You can see here's the labels for the time and temp. And we have my purple and my beige fake data all labeled. I think this could use a better title. I'm not sure what your teacher wants to call it, but I'm thinking we should call it the name of the lab. So I'm going to come over here to customize, and it says chart and axis titles. So here it says chart title. You actually don't click there. You go here, and I'm going to call it the Albedo Lab, if that's how you say it. I'm sure you know. And here it says time temp. Kind of bothers me that temp isn't capitalized, because you always capitalize all labels in a graph. So I fixed that. And I also think that I could stylistically make it a little cooler. So I'm going to make it gray because it makes the colors pop. Maybe not that dark. I'll make it a little lighter. I can make the border whatever color I like. And that's probably as much as this one needs. I could make the title white to make it pop. Why isn't it making them both white? Well, I'll let you know. We have to come up here. Nope. All right. Well, I'm not going to mess with that all day. Don't make it white then. All right. So these three little buttons can be very handy. You might want to download this and insert it into a research paper. So it would go into your Google Drive as an image or a PDF. You might want to move it to its own sheet. If you do that, you won't be able to move it back, but I'll show you what it looks like. So it makes it real big. I need to hide this or move this. Alt-T. Okay, I will do an Alt-T. Here is your data. So if you wanted, you could call that data. And here is your graph. So you could call that graph. So your teacher might not want you to do that. Make sure that you have your name and the name of the assignment on here. So that's all I've got to show you. Remember that anything you need to get rid of, you can do a right click and you can delete, or you can insert things also. And other than that, I'm sure you're going to make a beautiful graph. Please email Miss Jennifer Lindsay. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help you in any way.